Right now, we're careening towards a historic performance for Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
Donald Trump is not going to get 20% of the black vote. He's simply not.
Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this.
Besides, you ain't black. What do you have to say to young black voters who see voting for you as further participation in a system that continually fails to protect them?
Black voters aren't going to all of a sudden under the age of 50 or however old they are because he gets, 4 or 5 unnamed rappers from Detroit.
I've experienced Trump as president. I've experienced Joe Biden as president. And I like the way I like Trump as president more.
People can laugh all they want to about rappers and Ice Word Vino, but let me give you some breaking news. He is extremely popular in the city of Detroit. So
what's your view on the crime bill that you wrote in 1994?
Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, I'm ashamed that I voted for the 94 crime bill. You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all.
My name is Charles Duke Tanner, and I was sentenced to a double life sentence for my first arrest for a nonviolent drug offense in 2004. I lost all my appeals, and I was denied clemency by the Obama administration. It took 16 plus years before President Trump granted my clemency and allowed me to go home.
And an awful lot of people were jailed for minor drug crimes after the
Exactly right.
Was it a mistake to support it?
Yes, it was. But here's where the mistake came. The mistake came in terms of what the states did locally. Automatic 5 years in jail for any person caught with a rock of crack cocaine, a piece of crack. The crime bill itself did not have mandatory sentences except. We passed a law with the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. Judge doesn't have a choice. What I was against was giving states more money for prison systems. In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them, and not enough prison cells to put them away for a long time. So I also wrote into that bill a thing called drug courts. I don't believe anybody should be going to jail for drug use. We have to hold every drug user accountable. Because if there were no drug users, there would be no appetite for drugs, and there'd be no market for them. They're gonna put you all back in chains.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of 2 United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
To be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure.
Also, it's just interesting that, President Biden would go to Morehouse and, make those statements when a lot of those issues, those problems he's contributed to.
And you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man.
After learning more about Joe over the past few months, I question why even Barack Obama picked him as vice president.
Biden went on the Charlemagne the God show and said, you ain't black if you don't vote for him. I'm black because that's how I was born and what I am. And Trump is the man that can save this country.
Why do you think the president is losing support with these voters?
Well, listen, this campaign is going to do very good amongst black voters because no administration has done more for black America than the Biden-Harris administration.
But why is he losing support right now?
And we're going to remind people of the harm that Donald Trump caused to black America when he was in power.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street.
I actually think that this is a phenomenon that needs to be better understood. I think that the behavior of black voters, even in just polls right now, is quite interesting.
I'm a 40-year Democrat who has turned away and walked away from the Democratic Party.
I was a lifelong Democrat. I voted Democrat. You Puerto Rican, you know, you're Spanish, you live in the hood, you're supposed to vote Democrat. But once you start waking up to, you know, the biggest mistake they did was mess with Trump, because that woke up a lot of people. I would never, ever, ever, ever vote for them, ever again. Not locally, no state, federal, nothing.
People forget. I mean, black voters are just like all voters. They too can be susceptible to disinformation campaigns. Black men especially, because
I had to remind him that he was a black person, so he can't vote for Donald Trump. But I am willing to, you know, seal the deal in more ways than one if he changes his mind and publicly denounces Donald Trump.
And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
Supporting Trump does not make you racist. It does not demonize you. What it does do is says to the Democratic Party, y'all not gonna keep playing with us.
Donald Trump's not getting 20% of the black vote. That I can sit here and say that as a fact today.
We are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves.
Don't want to hear anymore that black men are voting for Trump.
I don't want to meet Trump. I want to shake his hand. He's the only president that I see that can ever make America great again.
Nothing but love for Donald Trump here in the South Bronx, the North Bronx, the East Bronx, and the West Bronx.
So tell me.
We want Trump to come back. Please, bro. Biden, get out of here, bro.
I will come to the rally and support Trump.
We'll definitely come to a Trump rally in the South Bronx. I like him.
You do?
Yes.
Yes, I will come to a rally if President Trump was to come to the Bronx, and I also would bring other people to come too and support him.
Watching your interview today, I think it actually gave me an interpretation that I've never had of him before, and us not seeing him more, it actually kind of hurts people on judging him. I guess if that's what the media wants to do, then they're doing a very good job at it.
I'm a mother. I care about the future of my child, and I care about policies over, rhetoric. I like his policies. I like how he says it like it is, and Biden gotta go.